there are times, especially with SMEs and the challenges that we've already heard that they face in business, you find that people would like to somehow be given better terms, or maybe have a blind eye cast on how business is done. But yes, SMEs can do business ethically, and there are many of us who do, and there are so many challenges at that because you're going against the grain. But there is a business case for doing business responsibly, and I think this is what hasn't been captured. Because many a times the business environment in which you're operating is so difficult, whether it be on taxation or corruption, or maybe it's red tape and really drawn out bureaucracy, that to compete with, I have this case that I say that most African businesses are SMEs, and the really large businesses you'd find in most markets really, are not of African origin, but we're growing. And so to compete against the big players, you find that people would like to cut corners and try to do something so that, I can actually move at the pace everybody else does. And so it has been a challenge, but just as you said when you're starting off, Georgia, African youth, so to speak, I still call myself an African youth, we haven't been waiting for the business environment to be enabling and to develop, although we strongly, strongly need it to move on. We've had people collaborating across countries. We've had, a combination of consortiums adding value to their products and trading. But I think it's actually because we want to trade and we're looking at going across borders that we see the rationale, we see the case for doing business ethically and responsibly. And the other thing, and being African youth, we've also seen what doing business irresponsibly on the continent has done to our communities, because many youth are now thrust into business as a consequence of some of the challenges that existing systems have had. And so we have this panoramic view. We've gone out there and we trade with intra-African trade and outside the continent. We're at the community level, many SMEs really serving a lot of grassroots. We're talking about the bottom of the pyramid. SMEs understand you must segment them. There isn't just this one mass. And so we see the business case for responsible business because we've many a times been on the receiving end of irresponsible business practices in our countries.
Doing business in Africa, you can't afford to be without Africa Investor.